I'm Carla Reeves, and this is Differently. Whether you feel stuck in survival, navigating a change, or seeking more for your life, may this podcast be your weekly nudge to take a risk to build a life that is uniquely bold, authentic, and in alignment with your deepest values. What if you worried less about the bumps in the road and instead got equipped for the journey? Get ready to rethink what's possible. Hey there. Today's short episode is about how we can stand tall through uncertainty. This isn't easy, but it's possible. I was on the phone with my niece the other day, and she said to me, "Auntie, nothing has gone as expected for you for a while." And it really struck me. It made me go, yeah, wow. It has been that way. You know how often we move strongly through things and don't pause to give ourselves some grace. It was awesome that she knew that about me. And it was a moment to go, yeah, wow, it really has been some uncertain terrain for a while. Nothing bad, but just a lot of not knowing and a lot of standing in the waiting. That's what today's episode is about. Quick news flash. The mind, the devil, your negative thoughts, whatever you want to call it, is out to prey on your mind and derail your best efforts, and especially in uncertainty. And I've shared with you that I have experienced this sort of mental attack more than ever over the past year, navigating uncertainty. And it's required really diligent effort and applying the tools that I teach to keep my mind sound and clear, focused and aligned on what I truly want in my life. And I've felt really passionate lately that we all need to get equipped. We all need to be equipped to navigate this terrain that does feel uncertain, where change is happening at a more rapid pace than we maybe have ever been accustomed to. There's a goal that I've been carrying for a few years now on my sort of goal vision board, which is lean and strong. And what I mean by that is body, mind, and spirit. And this feels like maybe the most important time that we can be lean and strong in our minds, in our bodies, in our spirits. Okay, so during the climate of uncertainty, perhaps you're finding that old ways aren't working like they used to, or maybe the future direction feels fuzzy, like you can't make a clear plan and do the visionary work that you've always been accustomed to. This is what I've been navigating. And so what I've been finding is that my planning and visioning doesn't need to stop, but I need to work in a shorter time frame for the moment because things are changing and I'm changing so fast. Do you feel that too? When life is full, uncertain, maybe things are changing faster, we get extra busy. I see this happen for my clients a lot, but we want to set aside our healthy habits because everything feels like a more urgent priority. I get it, but I want to remind you that when things are full, when things are busy, when things are changing, when things are uncertain, this is the time to actually double down and fight for your healthy habits, because it is those that are going to ground you when you're navigating a lot of ups and downs, friction, uncertainty in your life. And so how can we learn to take amazing care of our thought life, our well-being, so that we can show up strong? So I was at Pilates class yesterday, taking a class, and I was sitting next to a lady who was sitting next to one of our other instructors that was actually taking class that day. And we were working on the springboards and using the spring bands to do like resistance strengthening of our arms and biceps. And the lady next to me was having trouble keeping her posture with the weight being heavy, which we all can relate to. And the instructor next to her was talking about how important, maintaining your posture is when you're struggling to lift the weight. And she said, struggle tall. And I leaned over and I said, that's such a great reminder for life in general. And so she really inspired this episode today. It's like, how can we struggle tall? What does that look like in our everyday lives. And it really is about maintaining these things that we always can control when it feels like we're navigating many circumstances and situations where we have lack of control or feel powerless. I want to actually share with you my writing practice that can help you stay lean and strong mentally and emotionally during this time. This has happened on several occasions where a client actually expresses in their journal that journaling takes too long. Do you have any suggestions for making it quicker? And while sometimes the pause and the slowing down to actually write is exactly what you need, it's the medicine, I want to share a writing practice today that I use often that can be a short writing exercise, or it can be a longer writing exercise. You can adapt it to your day because I know some days that is important. And this is a practice I take people through often to increase your awareness of your own thoughts and the power they have over the quality and experience of your day. Because like we were talking about, when things are uncertain and you're grasping for control, you always have control here, and it has a huge impact on your day. So these are some questions that you can take into your writing. And again, this is going to raise awareness to the thinking in your head that is impacting you in ways that you can't even imagine. So the first question or prompt is just, what are you thinking about today? Take 2 minutes to just kind of dump your brain. The next question is, how is this impacting your mood? How are your current thoughts impacting your mood, your actions, your interactions, your choices? Third prompt, what's the story you're telling yourself about what's happening in your life? Is it true? Is it aligned with what you want? Is it old and outdated and time to take to goodwill? The next question, how do you want the rest of your day to go? You might just pick one word here. And then the last question is, what's one reframe in your thinking? What's one small shift or trade up that you can make in your thoughts to change the course of your day? And that might be a simple thing as like reminding yourself. I often remind myself there's nothing wrong. Everything in my head can feel wrong, but if I stop and get out of my head and look around, there's nothing wrong. Nothing has changed except my thinking. And that simple shift can change the course of the rest of my day. Take those questions into your notebook, into a Google Doc. You can repeat those questions daily for like 5 or 7 days, and you're going to start to have a really clear picture about what's hanging out in your thoughts, what you want to continue to allow to hang out in your thoughts, and how you might shift that to create more of what you want. So I want to remind you and me that struggling tall is about grace and practice, not perfection. You can try this exercise. You can set a timer for just 5 minutes and go. Struggle is normal, friends. How we respond and show up to the struggle can make or break our day, week, month, and ultimately our life. So like my Pilates instructor said, struggle tall, friend. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Differently. It's been an honor to share this conversation with you. You know, one of the keys to living fully is to take action when you're inspired to do so. I hope you found that spark of inspiration today. And would you help us spread the word? Did someone you know come to mind while you were listening? If this episode could impact someone you know, please share it and pass it along. New episodes drop weekly, so tap that subscribe button and join us next time as we continue to challenge the status quo and get equipped to live life differently.